What's up, y'all? Welcome to Original Gamers Podcast. I'm your host, Patrick Ryan, and I'm joined today, as always, by Nolan Brown.
Hello, everybody.
And Joel Watt.
Hello, friends.
And this week, we're going to be talking about the original Tomb Raider. But before we get into that, how you guys been doing? We'll start with you, Nolan. What's up?
Not too bad. I kind of had the place just me and my nephew this week, so it was kind of interesting. That it was kind of okay. Cook your own stuff now. Like I have to actually cook, which it's not terrible. I know how to cook. It's just more of that I myself have to. It's not like
yeah. How old is he? Your nephew?
19.
Oh, make him cook.
Yeah, I know. I know it's funny because we're so close in age, so it's most people think that he's actually like my younger brother.
Yeah.
But,
so it's not like you were babysitting then. It was you just
no, because he lives with us. So
yeah. Oh, okay.
My parents went up to Yellowstone this week.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
For the week. So they're camping there, and then up around Mammoth.
Mm-hmm.
Which is where we usually go to fish. Like if we're having like a big a fishing trip, like that's usually what we're about. Is right up around there. So
sweet.
Yeah. So that was going on, and
does he play games?
He does.
Does he listen to the show?
Probably not.
That punk.
I know.
You should tell him.
LJ, edit all mention of his message out of the show. We don't want none of that.
No, forget it. Yeah, so, yeah. So that's
cool.
Basically been my week.
But so are you bringing me some fish? I guess not, because you're not there. Never mind.
No, well, he caught some fish. I suppose I could check and see. I could bring a fish with me. Just here you go.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the baggage handlers would have a problem with that.
Oh, whatever.
TSA won't let you bring food in.
Lame. That's okay. We got plenty of seafood down here, so.
Oh, that's good.
We got up to our ears in fish, so.
Yeah, you're.
I was gonna say you live by fish too.
That's true. A lot of fish, and I like it.
Wait, you're at the Delta even? Wow.
Relatively close to it, yeah.
Yeah.
So, good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, Joel, what you been up to?
Well, I've been an insomniac all week, so.
Excellent.
Yes. Just a normal week. Just been awake for 8 hours already before work starts, then go home and crash, and be up all night again. So,
nice.
Yes, it was a weird week, but it's all good. Kind of mentally preparing for this trip out to Florida to see you for your wedding and all that.
So. Yes, and we will be talking more about that later in the show because we got big plans, big plans. So yeah, it'll be fun. I spent my week discovering that I didn't actually play this game when I was younger.
What?
I picked the game and I thought like, hey, this will be cool. It's the game that is what Uncharted is largely influenced by, and of course Naughty Dog just recently released Uncharted 4. Excuse me. So I thought, this will be really fitting, and I thought I played the game when I was younger, and then I started playing it and realized that none of it seemed familiar at all. And I played the Anniversary Edition, and we'll get into why I played that instead of the actual original later. But I figured it's the Anniversary Edition. Surely it's somewhat like the first one. Why does none of this feel familiar? And that's when I discovered, or not really discovered, but remembered, I played Tomb Raider 2 as a kid, and not the first one. So I don't know how much I'm going to have to say about this outside of what I got to play this week, but we'll make it work. It's still going to be a good episode.
Yeah.
Like half of the fun will be me not knowing what I'm talking about. So
exactly. And then
yeah.
me and Joel will point and laugh at you.
That's right. But I don't have my video turned on, so if you can point all you want, all I'll hear is your hurtful laughter
Yeah.
and
Exactly.
none of the pointing.
Yep.
So, but yes, and also I just recently, actually just a few hours ago, got back from picking my 7-year-old son up. He lives with me for the summer, and I'm gonna try and maybe utilize him for some of this. Yes, I'm going to exploit my cute kid on my podcast. Maybe if we play a game that he likes or something, maybe we'll get him on here and he'll say it's awesome, and then he'll run off and go back to playing Halo or whatever it is that he wants to do. So, but enough about that. Let's dive into this game that I just played for the first time a few days ago. The developer is Core Design. Are they still around? Is that a developer that still
believe so.
exists? I didn't.
Studio closed in 2006.
There you
Yeah.
go. Aw. That wasn't that long ago. Well, that was a decade ago. Never mind.
A decade ago.
Yeah.
It was a whole
No, you get
third
old
of
when you
my
think 10
life.
years isn't that long ago.
It was a whole third of my life ago. So,
Yeah.
the publisher is now. I have always pronounced this Eidos, but lately
I've
I've
always
been
heard it
hearing
Eidos.
That's what I've been hearing it pronounced lately. Is Eidos Entertainment, but I've always said Eidos. So there are
I
other
don't
people
think I
out
said
there.
it out loud, so I can't really.
Okay,
Weigh in
when
on
two
this.
vowels go walking, the first one does the talking, and the second one stays behind. Okay, so it should be pronounced Eidos.
Yeah. What was that thing you said? Just
Sorry, it's a little mnemonic to remember
That's
English.
right. I
pronunciation.
remember that.
So when two
Two
vowels
vowels
go
go
walking, the
walking,
first one does the talking,
does
the
the
second
talking.
one stays behind.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh. Okay.
So, sorry,
So,
I'm.
yes.
So it should
Should
be.
have been an English.
Yeah. All right. Well, either way, and they. I'm trying to think if I don't think I still see their name on anything anymore. Like all of their IP is now owned by Square Enix.
Yeah, officially on April 22nd, 2009.
Right, and I know like the new Tomb Raiders are developed
was
by Crystal
Square.
Dynamics.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know that you
Well, and
see.
Square. Well, I mean Square Enix.
Well, yeah,
sorry.
they
Square.
publish it and own the IP and all that stuff.
So you
Yeah.
don't see their name on games anymore. Like the studio, it merged. It's not like
Right.
it closed down or anything. They just sort of merged with Square Enix Europe.
And I
So-
don't know when that happened, but I know that these two companies have worked together for a long time because Eidos handled most of the PC ports of Square's at the time Squaresoft's PS1 games. So like Final Fantasy VII for PC was developed by Eidos.
Okay.
So-
Okay.
They've been working together for a very long time. So that merger makes complete and total sense.
Mhm.
The designer of this game is Toby. I'm gonna guess it's pronounced Guard, even though it's
I'm gonna assume it's Guard. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not spelled like you're guarding something. It's just Gard.
Like
And-
Bard, but with a G.
Right.
Right. Yes.
Okay.
So currently,
Wow. Okay.
the last thing I see on his Wikipedia page, like he was with Core Design for a while, but the latest thing it looks like he's done is in 2014 he founded a new studio called Tangentleman.
Yes.
Which-
Like something that's tangential.
Yes.
They're gentlemen.
Right.
Portmanteau.
Oh.
And I've never heard of them, and since it's just 2014, I would even say there's a good chance that they haven't actually had a game release yet. They're probably just working on stuff because that was just 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But anyway, composer is Nathan McCree. I'm gonna pull him up here. So let's see. For the first 3 Tomb Raider, he also worked with profile names such as the Spice Girls and whoever Orange is. I don't know.
For
Orange
what?
Band.
Orange. Oh no, that says it's a telecommunications company. I don't know what that-
okay. They're in
Formerly
Europe.
France Telecom.
Okay, but yes. So he's
Hey, he worked on this stuff with Newgrounds.
the that website with all the Flash games and
Yes.
yeah.
That's cool. Okay.
Well, there you go. And he also let's see, he worked with Adam Phillips and composed the music for his latest release in the Brackenwood series. I've never heard of this series.
Neither have I.
Yeah, anyway. So that's him.
Oh, it's animation on Newgrounds.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, okay.
So the game was created by Toby Gard and Paul Howard Douglas. And Mr. Douglas does not have a Wikipedia page, so
He's not.
that's all we got to say about him, is that he created Tomb Raider. And hey, if that's all he did, he's probably still sleeping on a giant pile of money, so good for him.
Probably. I mean, yeah.
Can't argue with that. All right. As we discovered during 20 Questions last week,
Oh
this
my
game
gosh.
is not a PlayStation exclusive, even though all of us, including me, until I opened the Wikipedia page, thought that it was. And oddly enough, not only is it not a PlayStation exclusive, that was not the first thing it was released for. It came out on the Sega Saturn
that's what I'm saying.
first on October 25th, 1996 in Europe. And then in North America, it was released on the Saturn, MS-DOS, and the PlayStation on November 14th, 1996. And then it didn't hit MS-DOS and PlayStation until November 22nd in Europe. And it also was later released for Windows, iOS, Android, and the Nokia Engage. So, yes, our retro gaming podcast has its first Engage game. Yes! I was hoping that would happen.
Victory.
I wonder if any of our listeners ever had an Engage.
I don't know. And that
I
was
hope so.
if you don't know what that was, it was a phone developed by Nokia. Of course, Nokia is famous for making an old brick phone that was nearly impossible to destroy. And more recently, they make pretty exclusively Windows phones. And actually, they're just about the only company making Windows phones. So if you have a Windows phone, it's probably a Nokia.
Yep.
But it was kind of like I guess it looked more like a PSP or a Vita than it did, or even like a Game Boy Advance than it did.
Yeah, I was about to say Game Boy Advance.
But to make phone calls, if I'm not mistaken, didn't you have to hold it up to your face sideways?
Yeah.
Like on the speaker and everything was on the top edge of it instead of on the surface you would expect to put up to your face.
Mm-hmm.
It's
a weird thing.
Very, very weird device, which is why I would imagine, like we said, most of you have probably never heard of this. Oh, well, I don't know. If you're listening to a retro gaming podcast, maybe you are familiar with it.
You know what? I mean, probably.
Yeah. But yeah, and actually, if you're out there and you owned one of these, I want to hear about it. So tweet us.
Send us photos.
Send us photos. Tell us whether or not, hey, if you played Tomb Raider on this, let us know how it was. You can tweet us at official OGcast. We would love to see that, because I'm pretty sure that other than maybe inside of a GameStop or whatever, was it GameStop back then? It might have been EB Games.
It was GameStop.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Or
right. When Engage was around, GameStop was around. Yes.
Okay, yeah. So that's probably the only time I ever saw one, was like in a display case at a game store. I've never actually seen one out in the wild. So yeah,
That's the only place I ever saw one, was at this game shop here in town.
My brother had a Zune, and while I don't have much of an opinion on the hardware itself, the Zune software for Windows was my favorite media player.
Was it?
It was better than Windows Media Player. It was better than iTunes. It was better than Winamp. It was nice and it worked, but unfortunately, it was tied to this little iPod ripoff thing that no one cared about, and so it is no more.
I went to Bible college with a guy who had a Zune HD.
Yeah.
And he loved that thing.
Sorry.
And then it went under, and I was like, "Sorry, man."
And weirdly enough, the thing that I thought was coolest about it was that all of them had an FM radio tuner built in, and like
Right, they did, huh?
And I was like, "That's so cool." And now you can't. I mean, I guess you can buy like adapters for your phone, maybe.
Probably.
I think all cell phones are able to receive FM transmissions.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's always been locked.
You could download an app or something if you can.
No, you can't even download an app. It's like something that's like locked out in the hardware.
That's dumb.
Software, like, yeah, it's dumb. Like, and I don't know why phone developers don't want to open that up.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I go to this place, and they have like you're in a room with a bunch of people, and there's the TVs and stuff all over the place, but they have the audio turned down. The only way to listen to the audio is to tune a little like portable radio to a certain frequency.
Oh, like a drive-in movie.
Yeah.
Cool.
But you're not in your car. You're in a building, and I'm like, who the heck is just carrying a radio around with them that would be able to do this?
I don't know. Some people still bring portable radios to ball games to listen to the common.
Oh yeah.
My dad does that. Yeah, he'd have like a little personal one to hear Vinny.
Yeah. That's Vin Scully. For those of you who don't understand.
Yeah, sorry, I probably should have explained that.
I'm glad the two of you knew what he was talking about.
Yeah.
The most famous baseball broadcaster in history.
Longest running.
Guy who does the commentary for the Los Angeles Dodgers, Vin Scully.
I'll bet if
he was
I heard
even there when they were in Brooklyn too for a while.
Yeah, he was there when they were in Brooklyn.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was because I think what it's like. I forget. Like he's working on his like 60-something year.
Yeah, he's been for a long
Something.
like since they were in Brooklyn. They moved in what 57, 58.
Yeah,
50,
I want to say 58.
Yeah,
That's
so
a long
he's been
time.
doing it since before then.
Yeah, since 1950
Goodness.
was his first season with the Dodgers.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So
And you would, I know he's it's probably more associated with radio than TV, but since I worked in TV, I should probably know that name.
oh yeah, he does all the TV broadcasts also.
Well, he does
so
he does the home game TV broadcasts.
Yeah.
Yes, I should say.
Well,
you're right.
I'm sure if I heard his voice, I'd be like, oh yeah. I know
Yeah.
Oh,
that.
sure. It's
For years, he did lots of other sports also. Then he kind of semi-retired and just stuck with the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now it's his actual last year. He was going to retire last year, but then he didn't.
He's been saying that every year for like 5 years.
That's true. I think he I think he confirmed it this year. For sure, this is it.
He's pulling a Brett Favre. He's like, no, I'm already
Oh
tired.
my God, I was like,
can y'all hear that?
I heard something.
There's an alarm going off behind me. That's okay. We got some. Hi, honey.
Hey, Lover.
Say hi to the guys.
Hey, guys.
Hi, April.
April.
She probably can't hear us.
No, but they said hi. So I just wanted to make sure. I just wanted to make sure it was clear that when she said "Hey, lover," she was talking to me and nobody else. So.
I assume.
Thanks for clearing.
Just I love you, babe. And when I say I love you, babe, I'm talking to her and not any of you. I mean, I love you guys too, but you're not my babe.
Gosh.
Not in the same way.
Oh.
It's completely platonic. All right. Anyway, enough of that nonsense.
Get back on track.
Let's move on. So,
Baseball business.
yeah. Oh,
talking about
the only time I want to talk about baseball on this show is if it's because I played RBI or something.
Oh,
Oh, we should get that. Okay, anyway. Moving on to talking about Tomb Raider. So, like I said in the introduction to the game, I didn't actually play this game when I was growing up. So, yes, I picked it, and I'm not as familiar with it as I was hoping that I was going to be. But I did. I do have the PC version through Steam that I'm almost certain I got through a Humble Bundle because there was a time when like Square Enix was given away it pretty much if it was not a Final Fantasy game, it was in this Humble Bundle because it came with all the Tomb Raiders and a few of the Hitman games and Just Cause which Just Cause 2 is amazing. And I have the Humble Bundle to thank for me being exposed to that game. But yeah, so that's how I wound up with a copy of this game, and I booted it up for the first time to play for this, and had just a nightmarish of a time getting it running. But I finally got into the game, and I couldn't. It stretched everything out to 16:9, but not like it resized everything. Like everything just looked fat, and so that was awful. And yeah, and then my 360 controller didn't work, and I got fed up with it. And that's what I learned, that this game has I guess she like first person shooter or tank controls for Lara. So you're not when you hit backwards or down or back toward you, she doesn't actually turn around and start walking that way like Mario does in Mario 64 or even like Lara does in the modern Tomb Raider games. Nope, she steps, like she walks backwards. And so that was, I went through all that frustration and then booted up the Anniversary Edition, and that's when I got like an hour into it and was like, none of this seems familiar. Why do I not recognize any of this? Surely this game is fairly comparable to the original, and it is, in case you were wondering. The problem wasn't that, it was that I've played Tomb Raider 2 and not this game. So, yep, that's my story with Tomb Raider.
I have never played a Tomb Raider game before, and I didn't get that Humble Bundle because I wasn't interested in any of those games. And so I purchased it separately, Tomb Raider 1, on Steam. Had trouble getting it started. Finally got it working. I mapped my buttons, and come to find out that the button mapping was not very well done because because you're running a DOSBox emulator to get this on modern PCs. And so the only way to do that is with a keyboard control. So I mapped my keyboard buttons to my controller, but I didn't know where to map them. So, so it didn't play very well. And then, yeah, like you said, Lara controls like a tank. I think when I requested the refund through Steam, they asked for a comment, and I said, Lara Croft handles like a Mack truck. I'm glad I didn't play this growing up.
That's harsh.
Yes.
Did you get any comments on that yet?
No, like it wasn't a review. It was Steam itself asking for like why I wanted to refund the game.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Game, oh crap. That's why.
So if some pencil pusher happens to read that, I'm sure they got a laugh out of it.
Yeah.
And so I got my refund, needless to say. And so I loaded up the Anniversary Edition. I was like, this is what a game should play like. Yes. It already has controller support. And
you don't have to map it
mapped properly. And,
yeah.
When I got into it, I found that my directional control worked fine on the 360 controller. It was everything else. Like, even though I was able to successfully map the buttons to where I thought they should go, none of them actually did anything once I got to the first ledge where it wanted me to jump up and I guess probably grab on, and it just wouldn't do anything. I hit every button on my controller and nothing happened. And that's when I went, I can't actually do this, and I'm not going to play it with a mouse and keyboard because that sounds like a nightmare.
Well, like I said, it's DOSBox, so it's keyboard only.
So it wouldn't even be mouse. I didn't think of that. Yeah, so I was just like, I'm not.
There might be some mouse controls. I remember in Dark Forces there's mouse controls, but it's like left and right only.
Yeah, and I would think that would be about all you would need for the most part, but just to swing the camera around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or to turn her, or something like that. So, here we go. LJ left a Steam review. So let's see. I think this was optimized for Windows 10. Nope edition.
Very bad.
Very bad DOS port. Going by Anniversary for only a few bucks more. Hey, since you bought the regular first, how much was it?
It was $6.99.
$6.99 for that, ladies and gentlemen. And the
And so
anniversary edition's what, like $10, maybe?
It's $8.99.
Well, there. It's not even a couple.
So-
It's more. It's $1.
Yeah,
It's literally a couple.
well, $2.
Yeah, $2, yeah, it's
When I
literally-
after I got my refund and I bought the anniversary edition, I paid $2 more.
There you go.
That's all I had to do.
Yep. So, well, while we're talking about our experience, Nolan, did you get to play it at all this week?
I sadly did not. I know. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
However, I think I actually did play this when I was younger at one of my friend's house. Because, I had a friend that had, like, every system ever.
Yeah.
We all had one of
Except the
those.
Saturn.
Right. Except Saturn.
No, I think he actually had a
Oh,
Saturn.
yeah.
Oh, he just didn't have this
We
game.
didn't ever play it, but he had a set. Well, we had the Genesis, so it was better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
course.
said it. Okay. You're good, you're good.
Sega hasn't made a better system since the Genesis. Like maybe the Dreamcast.
So the Dreamcast was good. I don't know if it was Genesis good, but it was good.
Yeah. Anyway, go on.
So I have vague memories of playing the first one,
Mhm.
but yeah, I didn't play a whole lot of it. But I do remember, like, there was, like, the idea behind it. Oh, it seemed really cool for me. Just like, okay, going and exploring caves and shooting bears and wolves, to go find, and you're looking for treasure
Freaking
stuff.
dinosaurs.
Heck yeah.
I didn't get to that part.
Oh,
I found
man.
out later that they're
That
finding- I
shocked
know,
the heck
right?
out of me.
Freaking T-Rex. Oh,
Yeah. I have a story about that.
okay.
Go. Keep telling your version.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I always thought that was really cool, but it's like I didn't have a PS1, so I was like, whatever. Okay. And never really happened. I mean, the only actual Tomb Raider game I have ever owned was the one that came out in 2013. Which
Okay, so the reboot.
yeah, the reboot, which
The latest reboot, I
fantastic
guess
game.
I should say.
yes. Like I loved that. That was great.
Yeah, that looks
but-
like a great game. And after playing the anniversary edition and lots of Uncharted, I want to get that game.
Okay, I'm just going to tell you now, though. It has RPG elements to it.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, I just want to
But
let you
it's
know.
mostly an action game. Okay, so after playing The Force Unleashed, I kind of got used to RPG elements.
Okay, cool.
So I was like, okay, I can handle
Turning it.
putting my points somewhere. But yeah, like turn-based systems, absolutely not.
Well, I was gonna say. So while we're on that topic, it's the combat that you don't like about RPGs, right? Like
For the
when it's
most part,
turn-based.
the combat and the super involved story.
Okay.
Like, if I want a deep story, I'll read a book or watch a movie. I'm not gonna play a video game for a deep story.
So do you play the Elder Scrolls and Fallout and
Nope.
stuff?
Nope.
Okay. See, because I love JRPGs, but I don't like Western RPGs, and it's because I don't like the combat in them.
I will give you
It's,
that. I like the JRPG combat more.
Yeah.
I like how Western RPGs work stuff.
hmm
Like, okay, there's all this stuff, and to me, it's like there's much more to it. There's better replay value in my mind
Yeah.
with Western ones, but I actually like playing JRPGs more.
Yeah, so that's why one of the reasons I'm getting off on a super huge tangent here. But one of the reasons why I'm super excited for Zelda Wii U is because it's going to be everything I like about Western RPGs, but with everything I like about Zelda in place of all the stuff I don't like about Western RPGs. And so yeah, at least I'm hoping that's
Hopefully.
sounds like that's what they're shooting for. But
Yeah, the Skyward Sword was probably the most Western RPG Zelda game yet,
mhm.
with all the different meters and upgrades you could buy. And
Oh, yeah, I'm like, hey, what? Okay.
Well, yeah, with the
I got it.
exception of a Western RPG is very open, and Skyward Sword practically
is not.
pushes you in
not.
one direction. So,
You go back
anyway,
to the three areas
yeah.
you've already been.
back to the Tomb Raider. Well, there you go. So now we usually talk about the presentation of the game before we talk about the influence of the game, and we kind of flip-flop those around. So since we're on that topic, we'll come back around to the presentation. Obviously, this game this series really has been hugely influential, particularly recently with Naughty Dog's huge success with Uncharted, a game series I've actually never played, but not from like any reason other than just not owning. Actually, that's not true. Uncharted 3 came with my PS3, but since I had never played 1 and 2, I didn't want to get in the middle of it, and I wound up putting it in for something.
You could start with 3 if you wanted to. You would just be questioning a few things for a bit, but
yeah,
it's better to start at 1.
But I've heard that Uncharted 4 is fantastic. I don't think I've heard a single bad thing. Other than the IGN crew, some of them thought that it could have been maybe 2 or 3 hours shorter. Maybe it overstayed its welcome. But yeah, just that's one really huge way that Tomb Raider has been influential. In fact, Uncharted is so successful for Sony that Microsoft recently shelled out really big bucks for the most recent Tomb Raider game to be a timed exclusive for, I know Xbox One. Is it also on Windows?
I
need to
don't
look into that.
think so.
Sometimes
only Xbox One.
Microsoft's exclusivity is like anything Microsoft or just Xbox. And
LJ is saying it is on Windows.
okay.
It's on Steam. Okay.
Yeah, and that's largely because Uncharted is exclusive to the PlayStation, and so Microsoft, while they have access to Tomb Raider, Sony also had access to it on PlayStation, and Microsoft saw fit to make the newest one. I'm trying to remember. Is it called Rise of the Tomb Raider?
Yeah.
The newest.
Yeah. Rise of the Tomb Raider. See, and I didn't have that one yet. I wanted to. I got super stoked. Because it was funny because it came out the same day as Fallout 4.
Yes.
And I was like, man, if I had money, I would. I'm like, I don't care about Fallout 4. Now I have Fallout 4 now. It's a fun game. I enjoy it a lot. But if I had the money back then, I would have gotten Rise of the Tomb Raider without it. Just like, boom, give it to me. Like,
right.
Yeah. Just because I played the previous one, it was so good.
I remember when they announced that it was coming out the same day as Fallout 4, and I was like, what have y'all been drinking? Is there something in the water over there? But apparently it did really well, considering it's only on one console, and PC, and went up against what was arguably the biggest game release of 2015.
Yeah.
But the fall gets crowded. Most people want to get out of the way of Call of Duty, and Assassin's Creed is usually takes up a lot of. I mean, I guess if you're into Assassin's Creed, I know the last one or two maybe weren't all that fantastic.
I didn't play the latest one.
It was the one set during the Renaissance that was bad.
That was Unity, right?
That was Unity. See, and I had the bundle. I had the Unity bundle when I got my Xbox One. And I still haven't finished it yet. Just because I was like, now that it's bad, like, by the time I actually started playing it, they fixed the bugs, so it wasn't really that bad.
Yeah.
But
yeah, the problems with Unity, it was very specific graphics cards that were having trouble. Like, you played it on console, no problem. You played it on, like, other graphics cards, no problem. It was very specific ones that just did not render properly.
Mm-hmm. LJ, our resident sound guy, says that Syndicate is really good, and I've heard that. I've heard that it is really good. And I guess you could say that Assassin's Creed's probably influenced by Tomb Raider a little bit. I mean, they're not. You wouldn't think that just looking on the surface, but a lot of it deals with old relics and historical.
Third-person 3D action adventure game. That Tomb Raider was really the first one to do that.
Yeah.
That's true, because this came out before. Because when I think of 3D action adventure, I immediately go to Ocarina of Time. This came out before.
2 years before that.
2 years before.
Yeah. So,
I mean, I guess Super Mario 64, but not to the same extent.
Right. Yeah. It's more platforming than.
Yeah. It's not an action adventure. It's more of a platforming. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And now, if Laura could wall jump and sideways somersault and all that cool stuff.
Well, she does sideways somersault, but not in the same way.
Right. It's more like to dodge enemies.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're going to get into, since I played mostly the anniversary edition, not the original, I'm not real up on what move sets and stuff were.
Yeah, what
now,
is
like,
the combat like in the original version? 'Cause
Yeah,
I didn't get
'cause-
very far.
I didn't even find an enemy in the original version before I couldn't progress any
Oh.
farther.
I got a little bit into it, an hour, I would say.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You had much better luck. Yeah, because the first time, like, it's the anniversary edition showed me that, like, when the aimer gets red and you shoot him at a certain time, and I'm like, there's no way in the world that this was in the original. Now LJ's saying it's similar without a lock-on system.
Hmm.
But
So,
were
like-
you like flipping out of the way of bears and stuff?
And like quick time events and that kind of stuff.
Because that sounds like really advanced. I don't even know like if the original PlayStation would have even been capable of some of that stuff.
Probably very not as amazing looking as probably it would imagine it to be, but
Yes, you can.
yeah, it
but
makes it super slow. Yeah, that's what I remember. It was very. You still kind of do, but it's like very like, whoa, 1, 2, 3, 4,
Right.
like
and especially on. So last week when we all discovered that this was on the Sega Saturn, that actually surprised me because the Saturn was built to be mostly a play 2D games. It didn't
Yes.
do
It was
3D.
not designed with
all
3D
that
polygons
well.
in mind.
Which is
Yeah.
why games like Sonic R and other 3D games that were on the Saturn look so terrible. And I can't even imagine what this game looked like on that system. But I mean, I guess it must have been comparable to the PlayStation, otherwise they wouldn't have released it for it. But who knows? Do all kinds of crazy things. I hear typing is somebody looking
Yeah,
up what it looked like on there.
I'm looking for it like Tomb Raider Saturn versus PS1,
Screenshot.
and we've got one. Here we
All
go.
right.
cool.
So this is it. All you people listening to this audio podcast that are not going to be able to see it.
Hey, it's like the second.
See
result.
or hear.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Oh, wow. Yeah, and I before I even saw the logos at the bottom left corner, I was like, well, I know
Whoa.
which one's which.
Whoa!
That looks.
Awful.
I mean,
My wife just walked in and looked at it, and she's like, "That's awful."
awful.
No kidding.
Yes.
That's so. The Saturn version
Saturn
even
looks
kind
better.
of.
No,
I think it looks better.
I think I don't know. I mean,
It's got a lot less colors and
Well, okay, I will say the guy, because so in the
Aspects.
picture that we're looking at, Lara's holding a gun up to a guy. On the Saturn, the guy's face looks more like a face
yeah, it's like
than
he has
the
a
dude on
face.
PlayStation.
but
But-
his head is facing a different way. His neck is always
Yeah, his
on the
neck's
PlayStation.
all weird looking,
Guy on Batman.
and it looks like which guy on Batman? Bane.
Yeah.
He looks like Bane.
I mean, like, I guess his beard
Little-
maybe
oh,
it
yeah,
looks
yeah,
like that
okay.
weird thing in The Dark Knight Rises over
Yeah.
his. I don't know, but so yeah, the color on the. Okay,
Flower-
so
Saturn picture. There's
it's because it's next to each other. If, like, let's say the PlayStation picture wasn't there, I would think that was Field of Flowers behind them. That's
Yeah, that's what I'm
supposed to be
saying.
water, but over here on the PlayStation, it's very clearly water, like some kind of river
Yeah.
or something. This is well, yeah. LJ says the PlayStation 1 looks terrible. To be fair, they both look terrible.
both
I
look
mean, let's
terrible.
be
Yes.
honest. But
wow.
yeah, it's that's the thing about this era of games. It's like Super Nintendo games aged really well, and I think
Dude, Super Nintendo, every Super Nintendo game ever still looks nice.
yeah, it still looks really good.
Like-
and I think even like GameCube, PS2, even though they don't look awesome, they still look pretty decent. But PlayStation, Saturn, N64 games just
No,
they're
man.
so awful.
No, it's so
looking.
bad.
They have not aged well.
Not
Like,
even a little.
unless they went for that cartoony look, like
Yeah.
like Crash Bandicoot or Banjo Kazooie, Super
Mhm.
Mario 64.
Yeah.
But like Ocarina of Time
No.
does not look good.
Yeah,
It just
Ocarina
does-
and Super Mario 64, they just don't look that great now.
Yeah. Have you guys gone back and looked at images of Final Fantasy VIII?
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh,
It's so
that's
bad.
so bad. And what's
Yeah,
crazy is like
so-
Final Fantasy IX does not look bad, and it's
No.
on the same system.
Right. But I think because they went for a much more stylized
Exactly,
look.
that's what
Yeah,
I'm
they did.
saying.
That,
If you,
that's the
stylized.
key.
What was at
you
the end
don't
of
go for the
Witcher 2?
realism, if you go for more cartoony, stylized look, back then anyway,
Better.
it
Yeah.
it would have aged better.
Right. That's why Wind Waker today still looks good, and Twilight Princess, it's not terrible looking, but it certainly didn't age as well as Wind Waker. So yeah, I much prefer when. I mean, I like a good game that's striving for realism, but yeah, like 2 years, heck, sometimes even 12 months later, you go back and look at it, and you're like, what in the world is happening here?
Yeah.
Well, I want let's talk about Uncharted again for a minute. I played the remastered edition on PS4, and I mean it looks amazing. You know, beautiful colors, 60 frames per second, 1080p. It's great, right?
Mhm.
Then I jumped up to Uncharted 4, and the textures were just so much more detailed.
Mhm.
Like, for a moment, I was no longer in the uncanny valley. I thought Elena was a real person. And
Wow.
I like had to
Wow.
like blink and come back to reality. It was like, whoa, this is a video
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, I've had moments like that, and weirdly enough, not so much on the current generation of consoles, but toward the end of, say, the 360 PS, like The Last of Us. For as hard as I am on that game, is one of the most beautiful
Yeah, it is.
video games I've ever laid eyes on. And there certainly were times that I was like, I'm staring at a computer-generated human being, not an actual photograph of
Yeah.
someone. And this is just crazy to me that there are now consoles out there that, once the developers learn how to use them properly, will be... Well, and heck, Grand Theft Auto 5, the remaster for X1 and PS4, and then which is ultimately the same version that came out for PS3, looks not so much the people, and as good as Rockstar is at making their games look good, I would say people is not necessarily their strong suit, but the environment is just, it's like looking at an actual picture of, I don't remember what that city was called in GTA 5, but it's based on Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Santos?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
It's just
The
One
airport
of the
is
most-
LAX.
gorgeous. Yeah, that's true. It's just so gorgeous, and it's rare to find a game like that will last. You know, everyone talked about how amazing Halo 5 looked when it first came out, and it just came out like what 6-7 months ago, and
Think so.
already there are games that it's like, nope, this looks better.
Yeah.
But yeah, so back to Tomb Raider. So not so much today. You look at Lara Croft in the reboot, and she's much more real person looking. But
Yeah.
back in the day, she had very exaggerated features. Apparently, this was not on purpose. It just kind of happened. What we have down here in our trivia, let's see. Lara Croft's bust size is a result of a programming error. She is not supposed to be as big as she is, but it kind of became a staple of the character. This is what she's known for. And it was something that, you know, back then, prepubescent boys would, hey, let's play this game, and this chick's got a huge bust, and it was something that I'll even admit, when I was that old, that young, I guess I should say, it was certainly a driving factor behind me playing the game. Now, if the game weren't any good, and again, I played Tomb Raider 2, not this one. If Tomb Raider 2 weren't any good, I wouldn't have just played it because I was, you know, a goofy little hormone crazy boy. I'm trying to be as like nice about it as possible. Yeah, PG about it as possible. Yeah, if the game weren't any good, I wouldn't have played it. But it was certainly a big deal back then, and actually related to that, if we can, because it is culturally relevant. Otherwise, I wouldn't bring it up. There were a lot of rumors about the Nude Raider. For now, what was it actually a thing on the PC version? Because I know
yes, I was reading that.
Apparently so. Yeah, I was checking that too. Yeah,
it was an actual patch made by fans and never hosted on an Eidos website, Eidos, whatever, or Core Design or anything. I think finally in 2004 they went after him and shut him down. But I mean, it took 8 years for them to finally realize this is a bad idea.
Right. Now I do know there was rumor that there was a code to actually make.
No, there never was.
There's always the rumor for the code, but there never was. Yeah.
But whatever that code was, like it was pretty consistent. Everybody said this is the code. You know, kind of like the Konami code. It wasn't like everybody had a different idea what the code is. Apparently, if you input that code into Tomb Raider 2.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
The Lara Croft model explodes into like, a whole bunch of different pieces.
Yeah.
And then you're considered dead, and the game
that's hilarious.
Brings you back to your last checkpoint or save point or whatever it was.
I heard that one of them, I don't know if it was 2 or 3, but I guess not 2. Or maybe 2. There was a point where it's like in one of the parts where apparently Laura is going to go change or something, and like she looks at the camera, she's like, I think you've seen enough or something, and it was towards the code, like that's haha.
In Tomb Raider 2 and the because the games don't really have a tutorial. They have a little area where you can go run around Lara's mansion, and when you exit that section of the game in Tomb Raider 2, she goes into the bathroom to take a shower. And she sticks her head out of the bathroom with the, you can't see anything else but her head, and she tells you that it's time for you to leave or something like that. So they've certainly Eidos wasn't afraid to use Lara's sex appeal, I suppose, if something with traffic cones for a bust can be considered to be sexually appealing.
Well, in all the promotional artwork, she looked more real. I should say. Right. She was not pointy. She was curvy, but in game she was traffic cones.
If you look at the box art, that's kind of what they were envisioning her to look like, and in the anniversary edition, she looks much more like that.
Yes.
Than what she did in the original game.
And of course, there's jiggle physics.
Yes.
Which I only noticed on the title screen, because when you're playing the game, the camera's behind her the whole time,
right?
So you don't notice.
And actually, while we're on that subject, when I did get the first one booted up and running, and I had the same kind of thought playing the anniversary edition, but more so in the original. You start out in this cave, area that's got snow on the ground.
Yeah, and you're up in the Andes in Peru.
Right, and she's wearing this weird tank top thing. And
it's a unitard, actually. She's wearing shorts over a unitard.
Okay, so that's why.
Oh, really?
It's like that. Yeah, I know that. Oh. And then of course her incredibly short shorts, and it's like, girl, aren't you cold? Like I didn't so much want to date her as I wanted to give her a coat.
You feel bad
girl,
for her.
I feel bad, but then I felt like that was accented even more in the anniversary edition, because when that game starts, she has a guide, and her guide is bundled up like it's 40 degrees below zero or something, and she's still running around in her unitard and shorts, and it's like, come on, lady, for real. It was. But the reboot in 2013 takes a much more serious approach, and she's dressed.
From the trailer, she actually has a coat on when she's up in the Peruvian mountains or whatever. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and then Yeah, it was like in the trailer for it. She's up in snowy
Oh
mountains.
yeah,
She's got like
they're
the coat
scaling
on,
that
so that's kind of
mountain,
funny.
Yeah,
I actually, since we're talking about the reboot, I read an article about this game and how like it actually celebrates feminism. There is a test you can do for stories, especially like movies and video games, on like how sexist it is, and like it has to do with the conversations that women have with each other, and like whether or not they mention men. And
it's the Bechdel test.
Yeah, that's what it's called. And like, no, this never happens in Lord of the Rings or Star Wars, where women have a conversation not involving men. But it happens twice in the Tomb Raider reboot.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So, just to tell you how much like this is not a bad game, you know, and Square Enix went out of their way to, you know, not make Lara Croft this kind of sex symbol.
Right.
Like, she's a real person.
Which is not. Yeah, I like that about the new one. It's like, hey, she looks like a normal person. Like, yeah.
Right. So I went ahead and looked that test up on Wikipedia, and I'll just, so for those of you listening who are not familiar with it, I'll read it. It asks whether a work of fiction features at least two women who talk to each other about something other than a man. The requirement that the two women must be named is sometimes added. Okay, so like it couldn't just be two random people in the background that are like extras or something. And yeah, that's I'm not always a huge fan of, especially like modern day feminism, but I am a fan of. I don't necessarily think that romance needs to be, and actually the way this is worded, it doesn't even matter if the man they're talking about is in a romantic way or not. Just, are they talking about a man at all?
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
So it's just if they're talking about a man, then it is, or it isn't.
Well, if they're talking about a man at all, so even if it's like two women are talking to each other, man, John's an idiot. Boom, you failed the Bechdel test because you mentioned the two women mentioned a man.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. The way this is worded, I'm assuming it would be that strict.
Yeah, it varies. Like you said, sometimes they have to be named. Sometimes it can't be mentioning a man at all. I think it was designed with like romantic relationships in mind.
Probably, because I've even noticed that, like even in like kids' cartoons, that two women will be talking to each other, and what are they talking about? That, well, how hot the lead male character is, and I'm like, that's
not how real women interact,
right? Like, I assume that women talk all the time about stuff other than how badly they want to date. You know, so my wife just yelled from the other room that is very true. So I'm now disappointed that you don't sit around talking about me all day, honey. that disappoints me greatly. It's okay. I love you too. This is gonna be a weird episode for LJ.
Just leave it in, man. This is gold.
Just there. It's great. It's good stuff. So, that's all staying. Hey, you know. Yes. So when I used to, LJ, he does the audio for the Geeks Under Grace podcast now. I don't do it anymore. But when I used to do it all the time, Cody, he'd say something and he'd be like, you need to cut that out. And I'm like, no, I'm not. That's too good.
Yeah.
Even if I did cut it out, the best that you're going to get out of me is I'm going to move it to the bloopers section, but it's going to be in the recording somewhere. LJ tells me the same thing. So,
or for my own personal use.
Yeah.
One of those two.
Blackmail. There were a few times that they would say something and I'd be like, there's no way I can leave that in. But not inappropriate. I want to make sure that that's clear. It wasn't like he was talking about something, dirty or anything. It was just not something that should be in the podcast. I didn't want anybody thinking like, oh, Cody's such a horrible person. No, he's not. Cody's good people. Anyway, back to Tomb Raider. Yeah, so
That game.
I don't know then that I have a whole lot else to say about it. I'm gonna look over this Wikipedia. So it says here the so in Wikipedia, our source for all things that we don't know about. And obviously we don't know much about this game since none of us
College
played
English
it.
paper.
Yeah. The Tomb Raider series was credited with 6 official Guinness World Records in the Gamers Edition 2008.
Wow.
These records include most official real-life stand-ins. I don't even know what that means. Highest
series. So I think it might be with the movie.
Okay, maybe.
Because
Okay, yeah, so it is talking about the series and not the game. It's this particular game itself.
yeah,
Most official real-life stand-ins. Okay. Highest grossing video game movie. What's that?
I
I
don't know
will
what that means. What does real life stand-in mean?
I
Like,
no idea. That's
anyway, move
Wait.
on.
yeah, so highest grossing video game movie. I would imagine at this point that surely that's been surpassed by something.
highest grossing video game movie.
But maybe not, because the only
Probably
other
not.
video game movie I can think of even any good is Resident Evil.
Yeah, that's true.
The highest grossing video game movie is Mortal Kombat.
Oh,
Super Mario Bros. Come on.
Oh gosh.
certainly not the case. And most recognizable female video game character.
I'll believe it.
Yeah, and I would think that. Well, no, because I'll bet there's still a lot of people out there like Metroid that are not aware that Samus is a female.
What?
Yeah, sorry to blow your mind.
the whole
there.
time.
Samus was a girl?
Right, and since 50% of the people that are familiar with The Legend of Zelda think that she's Link,
Oh my
she
god.
doesn't count.
that Link is Zelda.
Or yeah, that Link is Zelda.
Guys, what if Zelda was a girl?
Get off my shit.
You're fired.
Ah, dang it.
You're not allowed to be here anymore.
Okay.
No. Yeah. So that's also something that we could talk about. That it's not very usual for a game to have a female lead, especially a strong female lead. I can think of like Samus, of course, Tomb Raider, but then even like there was a weird. I think it was on DS where Princess Peach. Was it called
Yes.
Super Princess Peach?
Yeah.
Super
Yeah.
Princess Peach.
And that was weird.
That was a weird game.
I remember watching the Did You Know Gaming on that or something,
Mm-hmm.
and apparently there was like hidden things or something that like the whole point was you're looking for Peach's special wand or something
Really?
that
It-
yeah. And I forget
I don't
what
even
it,
want to say the name because it almost.
I know,
sounds
like
dirty.
yeah.
Look it
I
up,
know.
guys.
And then
Look it
when
up.
you get it, it's like apparently there was a joke thing. It's like I think they actually said something like to your mom will understand or something. It was like really strange.
That's like in Super Mario RPG.
Yes, they
There was
mentioned
a-
that also.
That yeah, you can go back into her bedroom and look on one of the sides of the fireplace. And I think in Japan it actually says you found Princess Peaches and then whatever the thing is. But in the US, whatever the thing is just a bunch of question marks. And then one of the Toad guards comes over and fusses at you for sneaking in. Oh, that's if you don't have Peach in your party yet. If you have her in your party, Peach
Oh my
actually
gosh.
comes out and fusses at you.
Yeah, she
for
gets mad at
looking
you.
through a lady's, personal belongings, and it's like this is a Nintendo game. This is
Yeah,
weird.
right? Oh, it's Square.
Well, yeah, the Mario RPG,
Like-
of course, developed by Square, but still, it was
But yeah, it was.
so bizarre.
Yeah, that's a thing for. But yeah, like the Princess Peach thing, that was a thing. I was like, dang.
Yeah, and then like
That's not a good one.
Toadette is featured in like
Oh.
Mario Kart, but she's just like a palette swap for Toad.
Yeah,
Because I think
It
Toad
it
is
didn't
like.
exist before Mario Kart Double Dash.
Yeah.
Because Toads are. What?
They're
What
pretty
are
much genderless.
Yeah, that's
they were?
I
Yeah,
think-
they were.
I think Nintendo has said that they are genderless, even
Yeah.
though some
Oh,
of them
that's
are
straight up is.
masculine and some of them are feminine looking.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other and excluding games where you can pick the character's gender, like some of the more recent Pokemon games and like Mass Effect.
Oh,
You can be a
actually,
female version of Shepard.
Redemption.
like-
Fallout 4.
Yeah, but so games where
Oh.
there's the character that's the lead is a female.
Mhm.
and
I actually know one
that's
that's
written.
it's actually a lot of fun. It was like one of my favorite games on the PSP. And it was also on the Wii. Was it's called Alien Syndrome, and there was something on the Genesis, I guess, for that, but it's not the same thing.
Mhm.
Where you're this space. You're like basically this girl that's in space, and like your boyfriend was on the ship, and like they found it, and it was like after a while it had been going around for a while, and you like go to investigate, and it's very RPG-ish, but it's like action RPG
Mhm.
kind of thing, and it's basically you get to pick your class of weapons and stuff, but it's
Right.
it's like
Okay,
a
it's a
shoot 'em
shoot 'em up. Hmm.
up. But it's like it features a female lead
Okay.
that
You know,
I cannot remember her name to save my life, but it was a really fun game for me on the PSP.
When I just started thinking about, a lot of RPGs, if you have multiple party members, will have female characters in them.
Sure.
But most of the time, they're like in Final Fantasy VII. So you've got Tifa and
yeah.
Aeris. But Tifa and Aeris are both
The support characters.
well, yeah, but they're also both very like trying to be romantically attached to the lead
Oh, that's
character,
true.
Cloud. And
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
kind of what they. Oh, and then there's the Chinese girl.
Yuffie.
Yeah, I
Oh,
guess maybe she's
Nin-
kind
Ninja
of
Girl Yuffie, yeah.
right. I guess she's
Apparently,
kind of,
she's the only one that kisses you when you go on the date.
Oh, really?
She's the only one that will kiss you, yeah. If you end up getting
You
the
know,
date with her.
Hang on, is that? I didn't even think you had her that early, but maybe you do.
Yeah. You can
Yeah.
go on a date with her.
Okay, yeah, all right,
There's 4 characters you can
Everybody
date,
up there.
and
yeah,
it's the 3 women in Barrett.
right.
Yeah, which is fantastic.
Yeah. But then, of course, in my favorite game, Chrono Trigger, there's 3
Oh yeah, you
There's
got
3
Luca and
Luca, Marley, and
Marley,
Ayla. Obviously, of course, Marley
Marley or nothing.
is very attached to Chrono.
Mhm.
And even though Luca doesn't have like a boyfriend, her and the robot are really close to each other, and
She's a
so
nerd.
like there's so it's a friendship, of course. It's not like
and
weird.
isn't she best friends with Chrono?
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Ayla has a male. I don't know if they're dating, but there's a male character from her time period that she's really close with. So yeah, it's just all that is to say. It's very hard to find strong female leads that aren't attached to some masculine character in some way. And poor Chrono got friend zoned because of
uh,
a robot.
I'm pretty sure Chrono was the one doing the friend zoning.
Yeah, I would think so too.
In Final Fantasy VI, I mean, there's quote unquote Terra is like the
That's
main
true.
character.
She is the lead character,
Okay.
and then even when
Celeste.
Celeste in the second half of the game,
Yeah, Celeste and Locke. I mean, although there's the thing between her and Locke, so I don't know if that counts based on what we
yeah,
said.
but she comes across as if Locke weren't around, she could still take care of herself. Whereas
She had been full entire before the game, so
right. Whereas in a lot of other RPGs, like even though you could make your whole party in Chrono Trigger just those 3 females and they'd be fine, but the characters as they progress, like as personalities, are very dependent on masculine
yeah.
other characters in the group. So so anyway, Tomb Raider was very, even though early on she was hyper sexualized, she has evolved into, I guess, what you might call a positive female role model, if a video game can be that. I don't know.
Yeah, why not?
Sure.
Video
I mean,
games are art.
Heck, I guess if I had a daughter, I'd rather her look up to someone like Laura than Beyonce or something.
Yeah.
You know
Or
what? Yeah,
Katy
go get.
Perry.
I mean, to be fair, Laura's like an archaeologist, so that's
Yeah,
a pretty
she's-
good thing to go
she's
for.
actually-
So, yeah.
There's a lot more to her character than the games would let you know. Like if you
Yeah.
read into her lore and everything, like she's a proper English lady, with
Yeah.
this, like you mentioned, she has this big English manner. It's because she inherited it. She comes from money and she's an archaeologist, well educated. Yeah.
And she's got a British accent, so obviously she's smart.
Yes, obviously, having an
Oh.
accent makes you smarter.
I was gonna ask this earlier. Now, do you guys say Laura Croft or do you say Lara Croft?
It's Lara.
I say Laura, so I don't
Lara.
say either of them.
That's how they said it in the movie, anyway. She's Lara Croft
I want to
That's
say that's
yeah.
how they say her name in the game, isn't it?
because Laura has a U,
Yeah.
It
but
does.
her name is Lara, Lara.
Yeah.
I if I heard somebody say Lara, I would be like, yeah, that's okay. But Laura, no,
No.
that's just saying it wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, so my eyes glance down here to the further reading section, and there's something here called Lara hit in the face.
What?
Yeah, I just
Yeah,
saw
down
that
here in the
too.
Wikipedia page, at the right above references.
Y'all should be. Everyone listening should just have this Wikipedia
just-
page
just
open so you
have-
can make sense of what's happening.
Lara hit in the face. Okay, so I clicked the link. Lara Croft make it to the cover of British magazine The Face. June issue of this trendy magazine featured an 8-page article of the most fashionable character in computer games, our own Lara. This is weird. And because
Yeah, it is.
the page looks so cheap and old, I'm a little afraid to click anything else.
This
so,
is on the
Yeah, I
Internet
don't want to
Wayback
touch
Machine.
anything else.
Archive.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
so I'm. Oh yeah, I didn't even
Take
notice
that
that.
out.
It's the Wayback Machine. So yeah, I'm going to. Speaking of, so it says here that she's the most fashionable character in computer games. Apparently,
No?
video game characters appearing as models is a thing now. Because so you remember the Final Fantasy movie that came out that had nothing to do with any of the games.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Spirits
the
Within.
lead character of that appears as a swimsuit model in something. I don't remember what.
Well, did you know
And-
Gucci had a deal with Square Enix to make
Yes.
Lightning from Final
That-
Fantasy?
yeah,
13
right, I was just
gonna
gonna
say
say
that.
their
Lightning.
official model.
Mm-hmm.
I think she actually was.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
I remember seeing
there's
that.
there's pictures of her.
there's tons of pictures.
That's right.
and
It was really funny. I was like,
it's
what?
weird. It's so weird.
Just,
Like I don't know how I feel about this.
uh,
Oh, anyway, yeah, I don't know that I have, other than to say that I enjoyed what I played of the Anniversary Edition, and I'm sure I will finish it. And this game certainly made me think more seriously about playing the reboot and about checking out Uncharted for
Sure.
PlayStation.
Like, legit.
Mhm.
It's such a great game.
I have,
yeah.
I know I have the reboot because I think I have it on Steam. I'm not positive about having it on Steam, but I know it was a Games with Gold game. And actually, that's the Xbox One version, so I
Yeah.
have the definitive edition.
Yeah, that's right. It was.
I just haven't played it
'Cause
yet.
I think I have it on Steam still. I didn't actually download it because I didn't have enough memory on my hard drive to do it. So it's just sitting there, just
Mhm.
like teasing me. Hey, what's
It's
up?
there in your library, but you can't play it.
Exactly.
It's like, ha ha ha.
That's what you get for having a laptop.
I know.
I'm just kidding.
Well, I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, I have an external hard drive. I just don't like having my games on there.
Yeah.
It's most time when I'm actually gonna play something, I'm not at home, so I don't carry my hard drive with me.
How well do games, like especially resource-heavy games, do they play well on a USB hard drive? I would think it would play not like it would be kind of
probably. I know I have it was funny. I have a 64 gig thumb drive that I have on my Wii U that I find hilarious. That double the what's the original hard drive is.
Yeah, because it's
And it's-
32 gigs. Of
'cause it's
storage
32.
you can get.
and I have most of my games on that, so that just
Oh,
I,
yeah.
I don't download games on my Wii U.
I don't either, but I do
download
have.
games that I know I will like
Yeah.
Zelda and like Smash Bros. And actually no, Smash Bros. I had to put on the actual thing because otherwise I couldn't use the adapter. But
Right.
like stuff like that, like games that like I know I'm going to like this, I'm going to play it, so it's not a big deal. And most of them are retro games, anyways, like not new ones.
Yeah. I have a thumb drive in mind for because the optional download stuff for Xenoblade. I almost said Xenogears. For
I
Xenoblade.
thought you were going to say
But-
Xenogears.
Yeah, for Xenoblade was the optional stuff to load onto the Wii U so that the game loads faster is bigger than the internal storage. And I have the 32 gig version of the Wii U. So I had to go buy
Did not know that.
Oh,
Yeah, I had to go buy a thumb drive to.
that's huge.
I know it's ridiculous.
It's a massive
Insane.
game.
The
gosh.
game's massive. Anyway, did you guys have anything you wanted to add about? Tomb
Well,
Raider?
when I came across the first real boss of the game, the T-Rex in the jungle area, I totally glitched it out. So I probably had that quick time event once or twice where you had to dodge out of the way and shoot him at just the right moment. He charged at me one time and got stuck in the wall and could not get out of the wall.
Victory.
And so I just hit the trigger over and over and over again. Did not move
Uh-huh.
for. It took like 10 minutes because like when you go into the quick time event, you do a lot more damage. But like when you're just pop shotting him from afar, it does hardly nothing. So like I probably put 1,000 rounds into this guy. I'm not even exaggerating.
Wow.
Which of course you can do because the pistols are unlimited ammo. So you
Yeah.
just go
Yeah,
crazy.
so I just sat there and just bam, 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 reload, bam, 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 bam.
Yeah. Oh my
And-
word!
and-
Did you,
and, like,
did you record it?
There's a rage meter, right, where he gets enraged, and
Uh-huh.
that's when he charges at you. And so every time it filled up, I thought, man, this is it. He's gonna not be glitched out anymore and come after me, and I have to really fight. And he would just roar and be stuck in the wall still.
That's fantastic.
And I was like, okay, I think I'm not supposed to win this fight this way, but I'm not complaining.
Yeah. So that was why you were playing the original, not the anniversary.
No, this
right?
this
Oh, so this is
yeah,
during the anniversary.
remastered the anniversary edition.
Funnier.
Oh,
I know I should have got it on video, but I was
That's
like,
fantastic.
I was like, man, as soon as I pause to like record the video, it's not gonna work.
yeah,
Like
it'll
it's gonna not be glitched anymore. I know it.
pop out. That's funny.
And it's like he wasn't like in the wall halfway or anything. Like he was just kind of stuck on the wall,
Oh.
like
Like a-
constantly walking toward it with his face in the corner, and like moving
Sit there and
backwards.
Think about what
That
you've
was the
done.
best part, is he was consistently moving backwards away from the wall. Like he ended up probably like 20 feet from where he started, but back.
Oh, my word.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Good job.
Good old game.
Experience while playing games. Glitches happen to me all the time.
They do. I've noticed that. Like watching either you stream or some of your videos, you get a lot of glitches.
Yeah. And I think it's Proton John rubbing off on me. I don't know
That's
if you've ever
probably
watched a Proton John stream, but he glitches
Mm-mm.
every game he plays.
Yeah.
Like even his girlfriend is like, again? Again?
You're doing this on purpose.
Sometimes he does. He's like, whoa, what just happened? Can I do that again?
That's fantastic.
I have noticed that he does, doesn't he? Wow. And now that I'm thinking about that, I'm like, yes, he does. He glitches a
out
lot.
of things.
Mhm.
And
Wow.
I'm pretty sure it's rubbed off.
And he's not even playing Sonic Boom.
No.
It's just
Well, he's actually infamous for doing a Let's Play of Superman 64.
oh my word.
Yeah,
Oh,
and he
oh.
goes out of his way to find glitches in that game. He's well over 100 at this point.
Wow. Oh.
And he hasn't even finished the game. He's been working on that project for 5 years.
You know, speaking of, Superman 64 counts as a retro game.
It'll never happen.
Joel's like, I will quit.
I wash my hands of this.
I,
Okay,
no,
so
The
Since-
Completionist did an episode on Superman 64, and he said, "Burn it. This game is awful."
Oh, that's right, huh?
Well, I think he changed his rating system. His lowest rating used to be "Burn it," but now it's "Look at it."
Look,
That's right. Yeah, I remember that old one. That was good.
I think the only game he ever burned was Sonic 06 and Sneak King.
I have Sneak King.
Do you really?
It's
Thankfully,
so
that does
bad.
not count as a
Wait, what's
retro
that?
game.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't count as a retro game, but it's
He,
so
he
bad.
named the episode Assassin's Feed.
It's so appropriate too. The
Yeah,
game is
but-
super creepy.
He didn't literally burn Sneak King, but he definitely burned Sonic 06.
Okay, so you're talking
Oh,
about
I remember
on
that.
video he sets it on fire.
Yes, he set it
That-
on fire.
Then he
That is
also
fan-
He's
asked
like,
if you
my
were
rating
like,
for this
"Hey,
game
I
is
want
burn
you
it.
to
And he
show
throws it in a
us."
trash can and lights it on fire.
That is fantastic.
Because
to
it
look that up.
it corrupted him. There was a demon corrupted Gerard. So in order to get it to go away, they asked all of the viewers to send video of them destroying the discs or burning them or destroying them in some
And
way.
of course, almost everybody had a 360 version, but there was one
Oh.
guy who had a PS3 version.
Yeah.
It was great. So it was just like, and that saved him from the possession. Was everybody destroying the discs?
That's when he used to have story in his videos, and it was really weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're talking about
Yeah.
Tomb Raider.
Right.
Yeah.
Tomb Raider. Well, and we're actually trying to wrap the. I
Yeah.
guess since it's here, we will mention that the game was critically and commercially successful. It sold around 7.5 million copies worldwide and has a 91 aggregated score according to Metacritic, and is considered widely influential, serving as a template for many 3D action adventure games such as Uncharted, like we mentioned many times before. So,
If you haven't played
Yes.
Uncharted, go play it now. I love it.
yep, good stuff. You can get the Uncharted. They call it the Nathan Drake collection, even
Yeah,
though
yes.
it doesn't have
Oh, yeah.
every game that he's in it, which I thought was weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's for
Does
PS4.
not have the Vita version?
No,
Oh.
Yeah,
it'll be a game.
it's what, $40 for all three of those games. Well, the
I don't
collection,
remember. It
rather.
came with my PS4.
Okay.
It's what most of those here's the collection of the 3 games.
Right.
Is usually like 40, 50.
Yeah.
Because I know that's what the Jack and Daxter collection was. That's what
Mhm.
Sly Cooper one was. There's a bunch on like the
I
PlayStation
just
ones.
recently purchased the Metal Gear collection. Hasn't
yeah.
arrived yet.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Not the HD remaster, the trilogy, but like it's every Metal Gear game, including 4,
Oh,
on 2 discs.
wow.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a different collection.
Yeah.
I just ran across it randomly on Amazon, and I was like, I'm going to buy that.
That's
So-
cool.
Huh.
The only one of those games, I'm sure one of those games will wind up on the show eventually, but the only one of them that I've played all the way through was the GameCube remake of 1,
Twin Snakes.
Twin Snakes.
Better than mine. The only one that I played through was Revengeance, which you can't even. I don't even know if you can technically call it.
Yeah,
yeah.
that doesn't
Not
play
even really
anything
a
like
Metal Gear Solid.
game.
It's not, which is probably why I liked it more because I'm really bad at doing the sneak.
Yeah.
See, after
sneak
playing
around
lots of
spy games.
Uncharted and Batman, like I like the stealth mechanics, and so
Mhm.
And that's probably it. Like it was a while ago when I played it, but like what?
oh,
That-
so LJ's referencing. There's
Oh.
in Metal Gear 5, which the preview game that came out. What was it called?
Oh, something Zero, right?
Yeah,
Ground Zero.
Ground Zero.
Yeah,
Ground
yeah.
Zeroes. Yes, there's a mission where you play as Raiden from Metal Gear Rising, and yeah, so he moves at super fast speeds, and somebody in the PC version had a mod where they turned him into Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
And so he's running around, and they've got the Sonic music playing and sound effects and everything. It's hilarious.
So funny.
Oh, I gotta watch. I'm gonna watch that when we're done.
He jumps in the air and like It looks like he does like I guess a ground pound kind of thing
Yeah.
into tanks.
He's a
But of
fan.
course, since he looks like Sonic, it's fantastic.
Yeah,
Alright,
Should definitely check
we
that
need
out.
to find that.
This is
I
good
will.
stuff. Put that in the show notes for the game.
Watch that.
Anyway, yeah. Anyway, yeah, we need to. Oh, yeah, we need to talk about next week, and
Next week.
yeah, I'm just gonna say it. We were gonna play a prank on everybody,
Alright, fine.
but I don't think I could pull it off. So normally we would play 20 questions, and the next person in the rotation, who this week is Joel, would have picked the game. But we're all actually going to be in the same room together next time we record this. So that's because I am having a wedding, actually a week from
It's
today.
April.
Yep.
So yes, April is also having a wedding.
Yeah.
They're entirely unrelated. We just we just happen to be having weddings on the same day. No, I am now. My
Who shows up to
April,
what?
right? April and I are we're actually already married, but we didn't have a wedding ceremony, so we're having a big wedding ceremony this coming Saturday. And to my surprise, when I threw this out there, my co-host, who live on the complete opposite side of the country, made plans to come out. So that's going to be really awesome. And also, my brother is going to be here, and my cousin's going to be here. So we are, one way or another, I mean, it's going to be very busy because I've got the wedding, obviously, and all that stuff. One way or another, we are all going to get together. Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention, LJ is taking a bus to get here. Sorry, I didn't mean to leave you out, LJ. So he'll actually be on the show with us instead of just recording it.
Yeah.
So that'll be fine. But we are going to all get together and play Mario Kart Double Dash, the sorely underrated Mario Kart.
Oh my
game
gosh,
for the
yes.
GameCube. It's so good.
It's
So good.
definitely top 3 for me.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I would. It's for. I don't know what order, but my top 3 are Double Dash, Mario Kart 8, and 64.
Yeah.
Same here.
I was gonna say the same thing.
In no
So good.
particular order.
Right. I'm not sure which one I like more.
Granted,
it
but
those are
depends
probably
on
the
my-
3 I've played the most. So that's probably has some of that. Like I never played Super Mario Kart. I'm sorry, I didn't. Once again, I didn't have
The
it.
Super Nintendo one.
Yeah, I didn't. I never got to
Well,
play it.
I have it, so when you're here, we'll definitely
Oh,
have to
okay,
play.
there we go.
a little bit.
And I never had the Wii one. Like I skipped that one.
Yeah, that was probably a call.
I completed that game.
And I didn't have anything on the handhelds except for the one that came with my original DS. But so primarily it was 8, Double Dash, and 64.
Yep. So, yeah, we're all going to get together and play it. We're actually going to stream us playing it.
Yeah.
So that's going to happen, and that'll be great. All of us in a room surrounding this. It's the GameCube version, but we're actually going to play it on a Wii hardware. But yeah, it's going to be awesome. We're gonna have all of us in here. We're gonna have a lot of fun. We're gonna play, and I assume we haven't really worked out like the logistics of it. I don't know if what we'll do is just play the game on Twitch and then take that audio and make that the podcast, or how exactly we're going to handle that. But one way or another, we will figure it out. So that's going to be our episode then. The following week, once everybody is back to their homes, Joel, whatever game he has decided that we're going to play next, we'll do that. I guess that also means 20 questions will be live.
Oh no.
That's going to be great. So, dude, that'd be great if we did that on the Twitch stream, and then that way, LJ and my brother and cousin, we can all play it together, and we'll all be yelling at each other like, "It's this, it's that." Yeah. So, that's gonna be good. So that's the plan. Once we figure all of it out, like the logistics and what time it's gonna happen, we'll definitely put that on all of our social media.
Sure.
The Twitter. I guess we might even put it up on Instagram. I say all of our social media. We're on Twitter and Instagram. We don't have a Facebook page, but
yeah, that's all of them.
yeah. One way or another, we will let you all know and stuff. So
and then I don't know if any of you guys, I remember this last time this was mentioned, and I'm actually want to know, did anybody find that Tinder thing for me? Did anybody
Oh!
check that?
No, I
No.
didn't. I didn't look.
No, okay.
Well,
I
if
Put it
you're
out there.
if
I'm
you're
afraid
out,
to go on that website.
I am.
LJ,
Because I'm like actually curious if that's
this-
a thing. So
that's fantastic. LJ's gonna find it, and we'll get some pictures up and stuff.
LJ will find it / make it, one of the two.
It's like, if I can't find it, I'll just make it happen.
I
One
hope
way or
sure.
another. It'll be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's that. Let's actually normally I would do this after we plug ourselves, but because I didn't play this like I thought I did, I'm not all that familiar with the music. So LJ, pick a song to play at the beginning and the end, and we'll
Play
roll
something
with
from,
that.
From the new game, from the reboot, just
Yeah.
Yeah. There
You know
go.
what? We wouldn't, except for the fact that the sound quality is good. I wouldn't know.
yeah, honestly, yeah.
So,
Not even.
and I would imagine that the music is more atmospheric in this game than memorable anyway. So, I'm not
Zelda.
terribly worried about it. But we'll. Okay. Anyway, Nolan, where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me at Baseman214 or Baseman21491. I know that's very complicated, but I have a feeling you all will get it. That's like my Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, other things that I can't remember right now. Probably Steam, Xbox. I think that's still my Steam. Or it's Icy White Falcon. Oh yeah, an Icy White Falcon. That's the other thing.
Yes.
So between the two of those, or I guess technically three things on the internet, if you can find a thing that has a username, and then chances are that's probably me, most likely, if it's the same picture of that guy.
You have the shortest list of stuff, but I feel like you're always the longest one
I
to tell
said-
everybody where we can find you.
Because I go, oh yeah, it's like this, and then it's like I go to explain every single particular one.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh well. And then now Joel has a whole host of things, and he's going to take like 10 seconds to tell us.
Yes,
before
because
Joel.
I am consistent in my usernames.
Mhm.
Anywhere you can find me on the internet, you can find me under Obi-Wan Kenobi, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Just look for me all those places, and you will find me under Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Indeed. You can find me facebook.com/AboveParProductions, Twitter @PatrickProper, twitch.tv/HugeCowPatty, and you can go to my website patrickallenryan.com to find my YouTube channels and information on my ministry. Because of planning the wedding, most of those things, if you go there now, you're going to be like, wow, this guy never does anything. And while that's true lately, because again, I'm planning a wedding, I'm normally pretty active.
It's usually
on-
pretty active on there.
yeah, except the Twitch channel, I could certainly pay more attention to, but
All of us, though.
right. So if you check it out between now and the wedding and think, oh, this guy doesn't do anything, come back after the wedding. I promise you'll find all kinds of cool stuff there. You can find Original Gamers Podcast at Official OG Cast, twitch.tv/Original Gamers Podcast, and that's where, whenever we finally nail down the time, that's where you'll be able to see us playing.
Which
Mario.
hopefully some of you guys
Um,
saw LJ streaming Doom
Yes.
last week. So
And I hear that Doom, that new... Oh, you streamed Banjo.
I thought you streamed Doom on there too.
Ah,
Oh,
that
no,
was on
that was the GOG. That's right.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
okay. Yeah, so...
Okay,
Um,
that's right.
I do hear that new Doom is really good.
It
It
looks amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Like-
might actually have to try it sometime.
Yeah. I was
Um,
watching Pro Jared play it last week, and I was like, I need to get this game.
Yeah. And you can also find Original Gamers Podcast on Instagram at official
go.
OG Cast. And we are always looking for other ways to expand our influence on the internet. And please tweet at us questions, tweet at us observations. If you think that, like, hey, that host says a lot and you want to tell me about it, find a nice way to do that, I guess. Or do something more interesting. Like, hey, you should try playing the game that you picked instead of its sequel.
Nah.
Advice for me.
Nah.
Stuff like that. We want to hear from you guys. We want to talk to you, all 20 of you. Oh, and also, speaking of, we actually know how many people listen to this because Podbean gives us all that information. If you're listening to this and you like it, please tell your friends. The more people who are listening, the more fun that it is for us, especially because the more people are listening, the more people who will interact with us and things like that. So yeah, if you and I should also mention the premium content. I have an episode up that's about David Wise. LJ did Doom. Nolan, did you upload your Ryguard thing yet?
Not yet, no.
No. Okay, so
Today proved to be a big thing, so tomorrow it's nailed down. I promise by the time you're listening to this, you can also listen to my Rygar explanation and all of what I'm sure will be just all kinds of great, well, actually, no, not great pauses, because I'm sure LJ will take those out or something. Or just all of the rambling.
Yep.
Which, if you've seen any of my playthroughs, is basically what I do. That and long pauses, so,
Yep.
But it'll be great.
And Joel will have some premium content up soon, I assume. I don't know, for all I know, I'm saying this, and he's like, wait, I will? What? No.
I'm still trying to decide on what I do.
Yeah, so we're gonna try and keep that, and then of course there's our what's it called? Our crowdfunding campaign, which again, as I've noted, if you are contributing to that, you don't have access to the premium content yet, and I promise you, I will get you that somehow. It's just not gonna happen until after the wedding. But lucky for me, I'm pretty sure no one is contributing to it yet, so it's not a problem. At least not at the moment. So anyway, that's that. You're about to hear a random piece of music from Tomb Raider that LJ decided. So anyway, that's going to do it. We promise we'll let you know when Double Dash is happening. And so check Twitter for that. And we will see you on Twitch next week. Have a good week.
Bye, everybody.
Be good, humans.
Excuse me. Everybody got all their coughs and grunts out?
Yes.
Good.
Probably.
The
Mostly.
pre-show coughs and grunts. Oh.
Oh, now,
What's up, y'all? Well, nope.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
False start.
Keep that in.
Okay. Yes. That's the
Where
rule.
is?
Okay. Oh wow, Tomb Raider 2 came out the very next year. That's a quick turnaround. That's what it says.
Wow.
Tomb Raider 2.
Use the same assets.
Yeah. No pun intended.
No. Use that word. Unless I'm trying to be rude when talking about a donkey.
I'm sorry.
Like Paul fell off his ass.
I couldn't help
I said that once to a Sunday school group, and that's all the kids remembered.
I booted up the first game and was like, man, I remember when, it was like, she's so hot. And I'm like, no, she's like 7 blocks stuck together.
Yeah.
There's nothing hot about it.